71 seconds. According to the National Crime Records Bureau, a crime against a woman is registered every 71 seconds in India. And whenever we talk about rape, we always get lost in numbers. How many rapes happened this year? How many the year before? How the government needs to change laws? How rules should be stricter? But has anyone ever tried to get inside the mind of a rapist? Think about it. We live in a developing nation where technology, economy, and education are growing every single day. Logically, these crimes should be going down, right? But today the reality is that whenever we hear about a rape case, instead of feeling intense rage, we think about another case. This happens every day. And that is the biggest danger. When the level of brutality starts feeling common to us, understand that our worst times have already begun. But why is this graph of rapes refusing to come down? If we want to uproot this crime completely, we must shift our focus from the crime itself to the mind of the rapist and their specific categories. According to criminal psychology and psychiatric research, every rapist is not the same. They fall into distinct categories that we need to understand. Number 1, power, assertive or control rapist. Number 2, anger rapist. Number 3, sadistic rapist. Number 4, opportunistic rapist. And number 5, pedophiles. What is their actual mindset? Can their minds be identified beforehand? Do pornography or prostitution have anything to do with this? Today, we will find answers to all these questions using medical, psychological, and hardcore statistical research. Watch this video until the very end because this isn't about statistics. It is about our safety. Chapter 1. The Psychological Matrix. To understand the most critical aspect of this issue, we must look inside the brains of the people who commit this crime. Most people assume that the real driving force behind rape is sexual desire or lust. However, clinical psychology reveals a completely different truth. According to a landmark psychiatric study published by the World Health Organization and the Journal of Interpersonal Violence, the biggest trigger for rape isn't sex at all. It is power, anger, and control. Dr. A. Nicholas Groth, a renowned clinical psychologist who spent years studying convicted rapists, divided them into 3 major violent categories based on his extensive research. And the biggest zone among them is dominance. Number 1, power, assertive or control rapist. According to Dr. Groth's data, 55% of all rapes are committed purely to assert power. This means that in more than half of the cases, the main motive isn't sexual pleasure, but to make the victim feel completely dominated, helpless, and submissive. These individuals often feel entirely powerless or worthless in their daily lives, and to hide that deep-rooted insecurity, they use force against a woman. This statement clearly proves that his mind wasn't driven by physical lust. It was driven by a deep, sick hatred and a desire to completely crush the other person to show his dominance. When a girl rejects a guy's proposal or says no, his male ego gets hurt so badly that his humanity vanishes. His sick mind thinks only one thing: how dare she reject me? I will show her her place. Their anger explodes into a sick sense of entitlement. Think about it. On one side are the 55% who rape to show power. On the other side are the 35% who assault to vent their anger. Sadistic rapists. This is the most disturbed category in criminal psychology, seen in the remaining 5% to 10% of cases. These are the twisted minds that have linked sexual assault with torture. A sadistic rapist cannot get any arousal or pleasure unless the victim is in pain, screaming, or begging for their life. Their minds suffer completely from a lust-murder mentality. They inflict severe physical torture, mutilate the victim's body parts, and often kill them afterward to achieve absolute satisfaction. But the question is, how does a human mind become this sick and brutal? According to a paper in the Lancet Psychiatry, children who witness severe domestic violence at home or grow up in an environment of hostile masculinity develop abnormalities in their amygdala and prefrontal cortex, the brain regions that regulate empathy and impulse control. They grow up with a dangerous pride, believing that being a man entitles them to do whatever they want to do with any woman. Chapter 2. Opportunistic rapists, pedophiles, and gang rapes. So far, we have talked about rapists who carry sick fantasies or deep rage inside them while looking for the right victim. But does every rapist plan ahead? No. There is a category that doesn't need long-term planning. They just look for an opportunity. If they feel no one is watching, that a girl is vulnerable, or that the area is isolated, the monster inside them wakes up. And this is where our biggest myth breaks down. We all imagine a rapist to be a strange monster hiding in dark alleys with a cover face. But hard data from the NCRB completely shatters this myth. Whether it was the 2018 Kathua incident where people known to be the child were involved, but when we talk about acquaintances and opportunists attacking at the first chance, a painful question comes to mind. If the real question behind rape is masculine anger on revenge, what kind of revenge are they taking on an 8-month-old infants or toddlers who haven't even learned to walk? According to criminal psychology, attacks on innocent toddlers or young children are not driven by sexual desire. They are driven by a sick concept called absolute control. Criminals who are complete failures, suppressed, or cowards in real life look for a target that offers zero resistance. An innocent child cannot scream or fight back. Watching that helpless child suffer satisfies their power ego. Medical science defines their twisted mentality as a mix of sadism and pedophilia, where pleasure doesn't come from the body but from completely crushing a helpless soul. You must have noticed that gang rape cases are reported very frequently in India, like the recent case in Rajasthan involving 30 men. When multiple people commit a crime together, their individual fear and guilt disappear. They think, I am not doing this alone, everyone is doing it. They feel the punishment will be divided. Chapter 3. University of Michigan. Can they be identified beforehand? A critical question arises here. Can these rapists be identified beforehand? The truth is that the rapist always looks like an ordinary person. Their behavior shows certain red flags that can later turn into violent mindsets. These include constantly making misogynistic jokes that degrade women, trying to judge and control women's clothes or lifestyles, or repeatedly crossing their physical and emotional boundaries. Their exact mindset of disrespecting consent later turns into a violent crime. But does this sick mindset come only from the environment, or is online digital content feeding the fire? According to the Journal of Sex Research, violent and non-consensual hardcore porn desensitizes men's brain. It makes them believe that using force against women in real life is completely normal. Criminologists state that legalization does not decrease gender violence. Instead, it expands the dangerous mindset of objectifying women. In 2001, around 16,000 rapes were reported in the country. Today, that number has more than doubled, crossing 31,000 to 32,500 cases annually. Out of these, a metro city like Delhi alone registers 1,200 to 1,400 cases officially every year. To destroy this twisted mindset at the root, Nordic countries, that is Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and several Western nations have completely restructured their education systems. If we talk about India, the mere mention of sex education makes policymakers and society uncomfortable. We treat it as a taboo or a dirty topic. We make our children memorize massive coding and science formulas, but we completely forget to teach them how to respect one another. Thankfully, India is slowly trying to change. The Ministry of Education, along with major NGOs, have started working on modules like awakening and gender sensitization. Along with this, new criminal laws have introduced fast-track courts and strict capital punishments under the POSCO Act. But until we bring this change out of that legal books and into our schools and homes, until we teach respect and consent at the right age, we cannot expect a massive structural change through laws alone. That is all for today. If you found this video informative and eye-opening, please like, share and comment. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. See you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay strong and build a safe environment around you. And keep watching Instant Medical.